So, welcome to this special recording event of a testing of smelting methodology, I guess you could say. This is a reasonable approximation of half of one of my iron stacks, well, especially when I've made it condensed, which I will do very shortly in the actual map. It's not actually currently condensed, but it should be. So this has condensed it up. It's a 12 beacon build. It's a bot build. These bots currently have no infinite research on them. They do have the maximum standard non-infinite research, which is a movement speed of 305%. Oh look, there's a fancy bot there. Interesting. And another fancy bot there. Yeah, we don't need the fancy bots. We're using normal bots. So at the moment we have inserters, stack inserters going without any circuit control. We have special creative mode duplicating cargo wagons. So what basically happens is it keeps topping it back up every time some's taken off. It becomes a full chest again. So in that way these are always basically full. There's never a moment that the bots won't have something to get, which is slightly unusual. And this chest is a void cargo wagon, also from creative mode mod, which just means that it clears these and gets rid of everything. So what we have is half one of my stacks, which is enough for 69,000 a minute basically. Which we've been doing it for 10 minutes. It's just over 69,000, so a full stack is close to 140,000. And in iron I have the equivalent about 4 of those, so 560,000 I guess. Anyway, I've been watching F5. I don't have a good way of recording this. I've been watching game update, and I've been writing down the numbers that I've been getting. Right now we seem to be seeing very low numbers in game update, which is very interesting actually, because if it's this different, it's changed a lot since I was looking at it. Why would this be? I don't know, but we seem to be getting a fairly steady average around 640 now. Oh no, here we go. So creative mode was at 0.5. It seems to have tidied down a bit at this point, and this seems to have settled to around sort of 650 to 700 range perhaps, which is a lot lower than I was recording manually off the camera just before, even down to as low as 620. So for whatever the reason, it appears to have stabilized a little bit lower. What happens if we refresh that? I think it's the game update that is the important one, because this is taking into account all of this mod and Lua scripting, which is kind of throwing it around a bit. So this is probably the important update. Circuit networks, nothing whatsoever at this point. This is mainly a function of the entity update, the electric network, and the logistics manager. I expect these two should be roughly the same once we do our change to the timed filter inserters, which is what we are going to do. 640, 650. I really need to record these stats over about half an hour. Now we're at 700. Very hard to be conclusive. Alright, what I'm going to do, I should set this to always day is one thing that I'm going to do, so just a moment.
So that has frozen the daytime, I think, or frozen the time as it is now. That will do for us. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to, well, first of all, we'll build our little clock, which I might just cheat to build, since I have had the thing earlier. Now, the way this works is you have a counter. This one is the counter. T plus 1, output T. So every tick, which there's 60 in a normal second, T is increased by 1. But T gets its output from here. If T is less than 75, then you can be T. Otherwise, nothing. So as you can see, the number is going up and it's getting to 74, and then it's 0. And this one is when T equals 0, set iron plate. So I actually want this around the other way. Like so, because it's a 75 counter that will then set an iron plate. So the idea with having a smelter stack controlled by a timer is that a filter inserter will wait until there's enough items in here to pull it all in one go, and the suggestion has been made that that's after 75 ticks. I think it's actually, we're going to actually have it at about double that, but let us see. I basically want to remove only stack inserters from all of this, which will cause an instant quiet. And then I want a blueprint that I have, which is just that, and that should replace everything. Whoops. I've messed that up. I've messed that up to such a degree that I am actually going to just rip out I'm going to rip out red as well. Okay, let's try that again, this time hopefully with some level of success. Oh, we've messed this thing up in the process as well. So let's rip this out and replace it. So now you can see it flickers every so often. These guys are building up fast, so that's not good. Let's just connect that to there. And let's see if this drops down or if that's enough. It looks like so we're getting to about 83, 83, 83. Right. So that appears to be doing the job that we wanted, which is basically, instead of having these inserters awake and operating all the time, they only operate when they have a full stack.
to move. We have a look at F5. You'll now see the circuit networks have picked up to 0.6. The game update has hardly changed, however, but we've only done one of these, so let's keep going. Let's get rid of all of the green here. And what we need to do is bridge the circuit condition from one side to the other. Like so. Seems to be a bit far. There we go. Has that impacted here? It's impacted it to the tune of 0.8, 0.9. Total game latency is higher, if anything. Let's keep going. That one. Let's use that. It's hard to tell at the moment if we actually have sufficient information to make a call. Okay, we've got another half. So that is half of them done. It looks like we have picked up something weird here as well. Oh no, we haven't. That's, oh, yeah, I did need to do that. No, I didn't. But I don't mind getting rid of that stuff, that's fine. We have, what, 3 to go, is it? I guess so. Let's clear this one out. Not that. If we're going to use that one, how about get rid of that? Green wire. So that the one cycle can be brought up to here. And all of these are set filters. Right. So one more stack to go. If nothing else, this is giving the lower stacks a chance to get settled with their new way of doing things. And let's connect this one up. There we go. And the final one. And we need this guy again twisted around like so. So we can connect over here. Green wire. And there we go. So we now have what's considered to be a clocked smelter stack. It's controlled by a single timer down here. If we look at F5 now, our circuit network has gone up point to point 020. Game update, if anything, is basically the same. Possibly higher. Certainly hasn't actually reduced it like it's supposed to. Has the entity update dropped? I'm not really sure. I don't think so. There's certainly no sign of in the order of a 40% improvement. It looks like game update, if anything, is marginally worse. I'm not seeing any compelling evidence from this to change to the filter stack inserters. It clearly isn't really doing anything. This stuff doesn't really, I mean, it's been jumping around, so you can't really do much about that. What else here? The logistic manager. It's possible that's doing a bit more work actually. Electric network is about the same. And I think that's it. It makes it a little bit harder for the logistic manager. It bounces around. Entity update, it's about the same. You get the addition of the circuit network cost, and it seems to be, if anything, a small amount more expensive overall. That's my conclusion. Alright, thank you. Bye bye for now.